All right, welcome to The Stretch. It's the interview day. We got two big ones today. We got the big rig himself, Pat Maroon, sat down with us for about 40 minutes. Then we also had like a baseball bat innovator guy, the Torpedo bat CEO himself, Jared Smith from Victus Bats. So big show today. But before we do that, you guys know what time it is. It's Miller time. So whether you're watching a draft party at your favorite bar, at home with some friends, the draft means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer. Dave, do you love beer?
I love beer.
Do you love Miller Lite?
I love Miller Lite.
It is the absolute best. Today, you're going to be having Miller Lites on Clark Street. Pre-game, Cubs opening day. That's Miller time. This is the original light beer since 1975. It's still the best one. It's the only one. It's the taste you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just a great people for people who like beer. I'm going to the game with Nicky Smokes. So we're going to be having some
That's a lot of Miller Lights.
That's a lot of Miller Lights. It's like you better order the buckets. You better be ready to go. We're going to have great tasting, less filling, Miller Lights responsibly for the Cubs. It's going to be incredible. So that Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories, and the official beer partner of the Chicago Bears. Go to MillerLite.com/stretch to find delivery options near you. But this is Chicago. Any place that sells beer is going to have Miller Lite. So celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. And now let's kick it over to the big rig himself. I'm sure he enjoys Miller Lites too. Whoosh. All right, we're in the interview section of The Stretch. We're joined by big rig Pat Maroon, Chicago Blackhawk, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Pat, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas.
Bright and early, right after the Colorado game. It's great to see you. I think, first of all, I should say, I've really grown to kind of love your game this year. I spent probably 10 years hating your guts.
He was actually saying that before he got in because I was telling you I'm not a hockey guy. He's like, actually, I used to fucking hate this guy until he started playing us. So he's one of those guys. I'm like, that's my kind of guy. So
yeah, like if you had been here for 10 years, you probably would have been one of my all-time favorites.
Fan favorite.
But because you're on that Anaheim team with Kessler and Perry and all those guys, all the wars with those old Hawks teams, and then you win the cup in St. Louis, I'm like that while the Hawks were in the cellar. I'm like, this sucks. Like, I fucking hate this guy. So, but this year, man, it was great having you. What was like your favorite part of playing here in Chicago this year?
I just think just the city itself and how truly the fan base is. Obviously, it's not the year we wanted to have. A lot of growing pains, I guess. But
yeah.
I think just everyone coming out and support us. You know, there's a lot of positivity around this city, and obviously, with our team, there's a lot of growth in it. There's a lot of young kids that are coming up, so they can kind of see that, right? So I think just playing here and the national anthem is one of my favorites in the league. It's probably my favorite, and just the way the crowd is just going nuts the entire time. So I think for me, it's just being here. And original 6 team, I think it's my favorite jersey to wear. You know, just everything about it. When you put that jersey on, it just means so much, and the history behind it, and the Hall of Famers that played here, and you know those runs they had from 15 on. So I mean, the history here is just amazing.
Yeah. So that 15, that was when my Pat Maroon hate probably peaked. Was that series with Kessler? Nobody can withstand this many hits. Well, do you remember like the anthem you mentioned as an away visiting team? Were you like, holy shit? Did it give you guys like a little pause before the game where you're like, what are we getting into here?
In the playoffs,
yeah.
Was it 15?
Yeah,
that was here.
That was the conference final. Yeah,
it just gave me chills, man. You just look around and just you see the passionate fans, you see everyone clapping, you see everyone yelling. Like, it's just you kind of want to take it all in, but it gives you chills, man. Like, just the whole anthem itself, and if you don't get fired up for that, I don't know what you.
It's giving me chills just thinking about it right now.
I just think, and I saw that video the other day with him coming in here and singing. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, gave me chills, gave me memories.
Yeah.
Memories are flooding back in.
Did you grow up hating the Blackhawks? Because you're like giving them nothing but praise right now. Obviously, you play for them, but like you grew up St. Louis.
St. Louis guy.
Yeah.
What?
City rivalry.
Yeah, sure. I mean, my dad had season tickets from his dad, so we used them a lot, and going to the old arena and watching just the Hawks play. And the Hawks weren't even that good back in the day in the 90s. They were just okay. They were getting better. I think they went to the finals with Mike Keenan their first year, but in what, 95? 92?
against Mario, and I think
Yeah.
that was like earlier. I think
Early,
it was 92.
right? So I mean, you got to see.
You were just a spry young guy at that point. Yeah.
You got to see all those, old school guys, and now you get to see them in the rafters. I mean, but I never really hated the Blackhawks. I was just a fan of hockey at itself. I was a fan of the Blues, but I was also a fan of just going to the games and watching some of my favorite players. And for me, obviously, I hate the Cubs.
Yeah, fair.
So I hate the
My
Cubs.
guy.
Yeah.
I hate the Bears, but football really never crossed over with
Right.
the Rams. So
Yeah.
it was more baseball, right?
Yeah.
For me, we always grew up hating the Cubs. We never grew up hating the Blackhawks, I guess, for me, because I was a hockey fan. But if you ask a St. Louis Blues fan, they're going to say, I hate the Blackhawks, I hate the Cubs, right?
For
But
sure.
For
And
me,
fair. I kind of like the Cardinals because I hate the Cubs as well, but I like that. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more hate in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hate needs to come back.
I agree.
Hate makes hockey that much better.
Sports.
Like that Four Nations where it was like, I think everybody on the
Yes.
planet was like, this is awesome. We need more fighting. Do you kind of think that there should be more fighting in the league? Do you wish there was?
Well, when it's best on best like that,
Yeah.
and the best players are fighting each other,
Yes.
that's that just grows the game at itself,
Yeah.
I think. And to watch it live, and for guys, I was watching around, Twitter and TV and Instagram and all these guys posting about hockey, like, oh, I never watched this. This is the best sport ever.
Yeah.
That's, for me, we're growing the game, and I
Yeah.
think that we need more of that. And when you have the best on best players going at it like that, it just makes the game so much better, so much more fun. But do I think fighting? Yes, because you need to protect yourself. You need to protect your teammates, and you're going to have rats running around, and they're going to try to hurt your star players.
Yep.
Or they're going to take liberties or runs at guys, and you need guys to go in there and step up and stick up for your teammates. So I think you need more of it. But again, it's kind of weeding out of the game a little bit, so it kind of
It's just
sucks.
stupid.
I was Ryan Whitney had this quote a couple years ago. I think he was talking about when the Ducks had like all this skill and they got off to kind of a hot start, and then teams just started bullying them. And he's like, the game will always be the game, and
Yeah.
you can kind of fuck around the regular season and wheel around. The playoffs is when it becomes like a war.
Yeah.
And I noticed on your right hand,
I was just who'd you beat up for that? I was about to ask.
It was the other night when McBain took out Big Bird, the Rizno. Well, how do you
Renzel.
Rinzel. There you go. Jesus Christ, we
He's
call him.
learned a lot of new guys on the
I
team.
know,
Yeah.
there's so many new guys,
Yeah.
but when we call his stick says Big Bird on it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
When he got hit, I had to jump in.
Set someone
Yeah.
straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it?
McBain.
McBain. And so after a hockey fighter, you guys like getting beers afterwards? Not actually, but like,
No, I'll have a beer. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll sit in the sauna maybe, have a beer.
No, I'm saying like with each other.
Oh no.
No? So like if you're fighting someone,
unless
you actually
I
hate
know
him?
the guy.
Yeah.
Unless I know him, but other than that, no.
Are you gonna miss that? Like, are there elements of the game where you're like, I'm never gonna punch people in the face again?
I wouldn't say I would never punch a guy.
Yeah. I mean, you saw
We'll
Biz.
see how this interview goes.
You saw Biz a few months ago. He had to,
Yeah. I think what I'm gonna miss the most is just, obviously that part, sticking up for your teammates and like showing the toughness and whatever. But I think just the camaraderie in the room and trying to help young guys and building a culture and being there and the sacrifices and the ups and downs, the roller coasters of a year, the growing pains and that's the day I'm gonna miss, like going into practice and going in the video and everyone's walking on eggshells, like, are we getting fucking yelled at today? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I think that part is, and then you can joke around about it after, but I think just the camaraderie and just going into the room and being a part of something and the ups and downs, because that's when a team comes together. So that part of it I'll miss, but it's been a long career. It's been a successful one, and it was time.
Yeah. When you talk about, this is like your second going through your career, second kind of deep rebuild, because you went to Edmonton right after they got McDavid. How does that vibe of that rebuild kind of compare to what's going on here?
So I got there the deadline of 16. I got traded. I was actually shocked because we just touched on it. We lost in the conference finals, Game 7 to Blackhawks, and then we had another deep run in us again, and then obviously they wanted to go a different route and get some guys, and it was obviously devastating. But I got there when McDavid's first year, and then you can see the development of they traded for some guys and they got some guys coming in, and then in the off season they signed some really key players and veteran guys that won before, and we kind of had something going right away. They traded Taylor Hall. Obviously, that was a shock for Adam Larson, and then we signed in Luch. We got some guys coming in that were a big help for us. So we somehow came out of the gates really good, and we played great hockey, and everyone kind of overachieved, I would say. That was a big year for me.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of produced, and everyone found a role, and they stuck to the role, I guess. And everyone was kind of in the moment. No one really cared about where they played in that moment, and they drove. And I think we had the guys, we had the leadership, we had the older guys coming in. So then McDavid had a hell of a year that year, and Draisaitl kind of came to be Draisaitl, and everything kind of started taking off. And Cam Talbot had a hell of a year that year.
Yeah, he did.
So we had all the pieces. It was just putting it all together, and we did. But I mean, with the Blackhawks, we have leadership, but we have the guys in there, the core guys that can help. Obviously, I think we have like 12 guys under 23 right now. So it's a young team. It's a young rebuilding team, but it's a bright future in the organization. I think they have all the pieces. They have all the key guys to kind of bring in. Hopefully this is a big off season for them, and they can come in and bring in, some key guys that can help our star players and, get them line mates and get them going in the right direction. And but there's a lot of hope. You got Nider coming in. I mean, I think they started right. They brought in a goalie. I think goalies are huge in this game. They're a dime a dozen. You can only find so many of them. So you got to find ways to work from, the goalie to the D. Now you got to work up to the forwards, right? And I think our D have been some bright spots. There's been some key players that have been really good. And obviously we just got now it's a big off season for, some young guys to come in next year and solidify their spot and get some good free agents in here. And hopefully they can kind of take off to get back to where they need to be.
Yeah, when you were first really becoming an established NHL guy, did anyone ever sit you down and be like, "Hey, Pat, like this is going to be your role. Like you're going to have to be like you're going to be the guy who's fighting people. You're going to be finishing checks." Did anybody like sit you down and be like, "If you want to stick in this league, this is how you have to play"?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to the minors. I had a coach named Trent Yanni. He was a long time
Blackhawk. He coached here too.
He coached here. He played here. He was kind of like my mentor.
Okay.
And I was in the minors. Obviously, I was very successful in the minors. I put up points everywhere I went. It was just, how can I get to the next level? And when he got hired in Syracuse, he just pulled me in. He's like, "Hey, you have all the tools to play in the NHL." He's like, "Why don't you just start maybe fighting a little bit? Maybe they'll get notice of it, because if you can fight and play the game a little bit, that's a win-win for everyone, right?" So I was like, "You're right." And that was the year I ended up playing my first ever 2 games that year. My first ever NHL game was actually in United Center. And I didn't fight those 2 games. I got sent down, but he's like, "Hey, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. I promise you it's going to work out in the end." And I did. And, I got called up during the lockout. That's when I made it. And I fight Konopka. I had Clayton Stoner on my left, Konopka in the middle, and Mike Rupp on the other side, and they're all breathing down my neck.
Yeah.
But I think those are the moments. And I told myself, I'm going to do anything I can to stay in this league or make the NHL. And that was one of the things. I was like, I gotta fight. And that's obviously not what I dreamed of, but I've made a 14-year career out of it. So I've been blessed with that part, and I learned a lot, fighting, and I also got time playing with some of the best players in the world. I had success in both fighting and producing points. So, it was a double standard for me, and I loved it.
Yeah, you became like an NHL, like a regular. and you mentioned like Milan Lucic when you guys got him in Edmonton, where it's like that to me, like that is hockey. Like that's a power forward. He can play on your power play. He's going to get you points. But then if shit hits the fan, he's like a scary dude.
Yeah, he's scary.
He's scary. Who were some of the guys where you're like, oh man, I hope I don't want to be on the ice with this guy. Like am I going to have to fight this guy? Is there a guy that sticks out? Where you're shit.
My full rookie year, I guess the lockout, but the year after, I had 14 majors. And
your job's to get major penalties. Your job's to get kicked out of the game.
I was literally just every game I was like nervous because I was who is it? Who's gonna fight me? But man, back in the day, it was like Aaron Asham, Fraser McLaren, Mike Brown, McQuaid. Who else? I mean,
McQuaid used to just throw bombs.
Yeah. Chara.
You fight Chara?
I think 4 times.
Isn't he like 6'10"?
Yeah. Luch, obviously. Prout. Dalton Prout. He used to play in Columbus. I mean, there was just so many guys back then, that old school guys. I mean, George Peros. All
now
these
in
guys.
charge of player safety.
Yeah. Him and Getzlaf. Geez. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think my first ever was like nerve-wracking one was probably Aaron Asham, because when I first came in the league, you could take your helmets off.
Yeah.
And I was wearing no visor. And then I didn't have enough games. I was 1 game away from
being grandfathered
in. Oh. And then my first ever that season was Aaron Asham, and I was like, fuck. He's like, you're taking your helmet off. I was like, we get a 10 minutes. He's like, you're taking your fucking helmet off. And I'm like, all right, I'm taking my helmet off. And I did.
Rules of war.
Yeah, that was the best, where you have guys kind of circling up.
And you're talking. You can see it from like the TV.
And it was like mutual combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite part of hockey. Have you ever seen the movie Fight Club?
I have not.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
That very famous movie that you should absolutely watch in your free time.
Watch it on the plane tonight.
It's one of the greatest movies ever. But long story short, it's a movie about a fight club, and there's a scene where he's like, if you could fight anybody from history, alive, dead, fictional character, who would it be? Who would you fight?
Oh, man.
He's like...
You got one last NHL fight. Could be anybody from your...
Could be Abraham Lincoln or, whoever you want.
It'd be like Rocky maybe for me.
There you go. You think you could take Rocky?
Just because
The Rock?
On skates,
no,
for sure.
On skates.
Yeah.
But just those movies itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan and all those.
Yeah.
Are we going in the ring or are we going on the ice?
Home and away. Or home and home.
Home and home.
Yeah. If it was like ice hockey, I would fight Bob Probert.
Oh, animal. What?
That's like, isn't he like the all-time great fighter?
Yeah, he's the scariest dude of all time.
Right, yeah. Him or like those guys are like
Domi
and Kelly Chase or
guys from
Twister or
the old.
But Bob Probert's like the guy that got 65 points and fought 1,000 times. And got like
I think he had a year with maybe 50 goals with the Wings. Like he
did make the All-Star game.
Yeah, he was that. That's old time hockey.
That's old time hockey. A guy that can play like those guys. I mean, those guys just went in there and just Joey Kosher.
Yeah.
Like those guys. I mean, that would be fun to get in the. But that would also be fucking nerve-wracking too, because those guys don't care. They don't care if they get hurt or
What's the worst you've ever gotten caught with a punch?
I think McQuaid, because I thought the fight was over and he just clocked me, and I was like, oh boy, this fight's still going on. Mike Brown kind of fed me because I didn't realize he was a lefty. But he's a little guy. I mean, he's probably your size, and he can chuck him.
Yeah.
And he was just throwing. I'm like, Jesus
We got,
Christ.
That built-in Napoleon complex.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys, I mean, it was when I was fighting those 14, like Getzlaf had to be like, hey man, like, chill. Like, we get it.
You're good.
You're good.
You're here now.
Yeah.
Like we get it.
Yeah.
Like,
stop getting kicked out of games.
We kind of need you in the lineup.
Yeah.
It was cool though, because with those guys, if we get scored on and we score and we get put out there the fourth line, they'll put their fourth line out there. And I remember this to this day. It was in Detroit. Jordan Tutu lines up next to me. He's fucking cross-checking me, slashing me, and Getzlaf stands up from the bench. Don't fight him. So to me, I felt respected enough where like I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me, closure of like, okay.
Yeah. I'm in the league now. I'll do it when I
Yeah.
feel it's right.
Yeah. So like that, I earned my respect from my teammates and my coaches to really know when to fight, when not to fight, and the time of the game and all this stuff. So that kind of helped me learn too in the process of like, you don't have to fight every game just to fight.
Yeah.
Like, so that was kind of nice to have those guys in my corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, league wide, the Blues are catching fire here. They got the Jobu thing. You were on the team that won it in 19 down there, which came out. You guys were dead last.
Dead
just
last.
About January 1st, something like that. Was there a moment? Obviously, you had Chief come in, but was there a moment where like, hey, I think we're on to something here? Because you guys had like the Gloria, our old guy YP had the rat or the chinchilla, whatever that was. When did you know that we're like, I think we got something with this group?
Man, we knew we had something. We had a lot of new guys. It was just like putting it all together. We were kind of going through a funk where you're trying to be this team that we're not. Mm-hmm. And I think when Chief came in, he gave us a runaround. I was like, takes the standings off the board, and he's like, first meeting, he's like, I don't give a shit who's in our lineup. You're gonna play my way, and you're gonna play it hard. And if you don't do that, then you're not playing. And guys were just like, oh shit.
Yeah, new sheriff.
Like, and when he first came in, we were kind of like still like kind of one-offs. We'd win one, lose two, win two, lose two. Like we were just still kind of like
middling, kind of 500.
Yeah. And we're just trying to figure it out. And finally, we shuffled these lines around that kind of molded our game to like what we needed to do. We weren't a fast team. We were a heavy team. Get pucks deep, grind them down low, wear them down, and just funnel pucks to the net and just create offense that way. And we were heavy on the back end, so we had to be heavier in the D zone. And and he just molded that into our system. And we just in practice we do the same drills and just do it every single day. Where we understood is like, if you guys want to have success, this is how you want to play. Yeah. Because we didn't have an all-star. I mean, we had Ryan O'Reilly and Schenner and Schwartzy and Tarasenko and
but not like a McDavid.
We didn't have a star. We didn't have a guy that will change a game.
Yeah.
In a second, right? We had just had guys that played the right way.
Yeah.
Hard nosed, in your face every day. And we just found a way to get back to that hockey. And once we started winning, I think it was obviously Philly is when Binnington came in. So he took over. And then he wins his first game, and then he just kind of rides it out, right? Mm-hmm. And Chief had him in the minors in Chicago, and we just started playing our game. And everything started clicking. The lines were clicking. We had our lines, and everything started funneling to play the right way. And then we just took off, and then we won, I think it was 11 straight.
Yeah.
And then that's when I think it was 5 games in on the streak, we kind of all looked at each other and the players like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
This is us.
Like, here we are.
And we weren't even close. So
right.
We weren't even close. We're like, if we can just keep building our game, we're going to make the playoffs. It didn't matter
Once we get there,
it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just found a way. We just pounded teams. We literally just pounded teams as much as we can. We wore them out.
Could you feel teams quitting, like in a playoff series? Could you feel like, all right.
San Jose.
Yeah.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Dallas was tough series.
Yeah, that was a war. Yeah.
That was a war because they were big and heavy too.
Nasty. Jamie Benn, all those.
Yeah, all those guys. But we blew San Jose out of the water.
Yeah.
You
just manhandled them.
We just manhandled them, and they didn't have an answer for us. I know Pavelski was kind of teetering from that hit in first series against Vegas, so we just knew like hit those guys, hit their star players, and we did, dude, and we just pounded them.
Yeah.
And, like, they won up 2-1 in the series with that hand pass.
Yep.
And Chiefs, like, comes in the room. He's like, don't even say anything to the media. Just say we lost. We lost. Who cares?
Yep.
We lost. Now we got to go win. And we won 3 straight, and we just pounded them. We had a recipe of success he showed us, and we just went out there and did it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break from talking to Pat Maroon, I want to talk to you guys about the Icon Pass. This is one of my ads that I'm the most excited to do. I'm a skier. More adventure, more crew days, more joy. The 2025-26 Icon Pass is on sale now, unlocking more than 60 destinations worldwide. The best days aren't just ahead, they're wherever you want to go. That is the thing. I don't think people understand like how great of a deal the Icon Pass is, because when you're skiing's expensive. You go there, you buy your lift tickets, you get this Icon Pass to the beginning of the year. You just know, I'm going to take a ski trip. I'll figure out the rest later. They've got you covered. So drop in today and claim your spring goggle tan with Buy Now and Ride Now. With Buy Now, Ride Now benefit, you can score access to select destinations with up to 17 mountains before the season wraps. So ski season's not over. Spring break skiing is awesome. Icon Pass is there for you. That's 2 seasons on one pass, 2025 and 2026. More powder, more Bluebird days, more spring break laps, and for a limited time, lock in the lowest prices of the season. It's just $259 for adults. That is a deal. So more benefits, more travel, more of what's good in life. That's ski life, the après ski. It's the absolute best. So grab your season of joy at iconpass.com. I'll see you guys out on the slopes. And now, back to Pat Maroon. You went out there and did it, and then you leave. You leave your hometown team. You go down to Tampa, and they were like, we need some of that here. Is there something that you say when you go to that team? Because that's like a completely different style of team. Yeah. They had all the skill, the speed, Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, but they could never get over the hump because they didn't have enough guys like you. Is there something? Did you say anything? Did you do anything? Or is it just like, I'm going to play my game and that will be enough to get these guys where they need to be? Well,
I think the biggest thing for them, too, is just like they always brought up Columbus. And I was like, fuck, guys, Columbus is over. That's last year. Like, stop bringing it up. Like, why are we bringing this up? Like, we have a completely new team this year. Like, why are we bringing Columbus up? Yeah. This has nothing to do with Columbus. Like, we have a new team. This is how we're going to play. And in the beginning, it was tough because, like, everyone still wanted to go east-west. They wanted to fucking enter the zone where your turnover pucks, turnover. I'm like, guys, this is not how we're supposed to play. Yeah. Like, if we want to go deep, like, deep in the playoffs and go try to win something, that's going to cost us. So I don't know how you guys want to play, but if you want to play like this, then we're just going to end up like we did, like you guys did last year, and that's not how I want to play. Mm-hmm. And so you just trying to help. You want to help them as much as you can, as much as possible. And I think when we traded for Coleman and Gaudreau, that solidified our hard-nosed, working Yanni Gourde line, third line, third line, shutdown line that just fucking dump pucks in and just hammer guys. Yeah. And like had all the ozone.
Cernak on that team too.
Cernak, yeah. And we just did that, and finally it hit. And then like, I think there's a stat out there. I could be completely wrong. Cooch entering the zone during regular seasons like 85%, and then like
carrying it in.
I think in the playoffs it's like 50% of him dumping it in and like doing the right things. Yeah. Because the ice shrinks. I don't think you guys realize, like, everything gets tighter in the playoffs. The ice shrinks. There's no room. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's gapping up.
Called a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just harder hockey, right? And I think Tampa learned that. It's like, all right, let's survive by getting this puck in. Don't turn it over. See what happens, right? And I think people started seeing results of that. Yeah. And then your offense kind of takes over. And then when you have those skilled guys out there and you go and get it in and then you retrieve the puck and then you get it back, then you're teetering around the ozone and then your offense kind of clicks.
You're up 3-0.
Yeah. So I think once they saw the success rate of that, that's when it kind of it's just started clicking for everyone.
Yeah. Then how much of that was like, because you talk about how Chief comes in with St. Louis and like, hey, if you don't play this way, you're not playing. Cooper had been there a while. So how much influence can a coach have like midstream like that, where it's just like, hey, like we were doing it this other way, it's not working, and like how hard is it to get a whole room to buy into like a new style?
It's hard, but I think once guys see it and you're vocal enough, and then veterans are kind of talking to you, then they speak on it. So it helps you a lot, right? Yeah. And I think it was good with Coop. Why Coop's so successful and so good? He calls leadership meetings and he's like, "This is what we need to do," and guys are on the same page. And he's like, "What do you think? This is what I see. What do you guys see?" And then we'll all speak up and kind of go from there. And I think that's when everyone, coaching staff and players, are all on the same page. Then you'll start funneling and having success.
Yeah.
And once you wrap it up, you strike me as someone who's going to be hands-on in coaching or front office or scouting or something.
What do you think is next for you?
Yeah, what is next? Because this,
I mean, I know you got the kids and their career, but do you think you want to be?
Are you going to sit on a beach somewhere?
Yeah.
I wish I made $50 million.
You're gonna have to work.
No, I don't know. I would like to do broadcasting somewhere, or do something like that.
Come here, sit with us more.
Yeah, I would come here and sit with you guys. I don't know. Podcast is always, but there's too many of them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If someone calls, was like, "Hey, we want you to do this," I'll take. But I think I want to do broadcasting, on a panel just to break down hockey. I would love to get into coaching or upper management, but I mean, you have to get into that right away.
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
You have to. I think if you wait,
it's all suits from like Harvard now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw that with, because I know Sharpie decently well, and he was like, "I think we're gonna do broadcast." I'm like, "I think you're gonna hate that." Because he's just he's wirely. He's a very competitive guy, and now he's in hockey ops with the Flyers.
Yeah.
So it's like he tried the broadcasting thing. It wasn't really his thing. I kind of think that's going to be you too. Where like you might try the broadcasting, chill out for a little bit, but you seem like a guy who needs to be like with the young guys, showing them the way, and then like you can do all the stuff you're doing on the panel for idiots like us at home. You can do that in a more detailed way
for people that are
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, we'll see where it takes me. I don't know. I think it would be fun to, talk shop and talk hockey, or, like going on with Spent Chicklets is always fun, because then, you just kind of they're the best, right? So I think it would be fun to be on broadcasting and, kind of just shooting the shit a little bit, and then kind of doing my own thing too, like, doing this shit and like talking freelance, and you can say whatever you want. You're not
say whatever the fuck you want.
You're not in the, you're not in the
ass
game.
Bitch.
You can basically say what's on your mind, right?
Yeah.
Because I do a podcast every week with Daily Face Off, and I started doing it, and you got to watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty blunt, dude. They'll ask me the hard questions. I'm like, I text them mid. I'm like, really? But
you're like, I'd love to answer that.
But I think for me, once it's done, I would like doing this shit is fun, and going on any podcast is fun, and breaking it down, because then you really get to speak your mind and like truly how you feel. And I think if you're in that upper management, I don't know if you can do that, but I would love
definitely not.
I would love to get into it. My mind's everywhere right now. It's racing because of what I want to do, but obviously I would love to stay in hockey. It's got to be depend on who wants me and what's going to happen there. Coaching, if I want to do coaching or player development and kind of work my way up, or do I do broadcasting? Hopefully I get a broadcasting gig. I'm praying that I get one for the playoffs, for the panel.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Then I can really see if I really like that route. If not, then I'll go another route.
I think you got some decent connections there, Banger and all the Chicklets guys with Biz. I think you'll probably get a phone call. Would be my
at
guess.
least an interview.
Yeah. All right, well, Pat, it's been fun watching you this year. I'm glad I didn't have to hate you your entire career. So thanks for coming in today. That was fun, and best of luck.
Thank you. Sorry the year we had. I apologize.
I think we all knew what we were getting into, but like I love guys that, to me, I'm 38, so like I like guys that play the right way, and you're certainly one of them. And underrated skill. I think I didn't appreciate your skill in your hands the way that I was just like, fuck this guy. But then like you watch him, you're like, man, he makes a lot of little plays. He does all the little things right, puts it in good areas. It's been like I had like a Pat Maroon appreciation year. So
thanks.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people go through that phase of where like even the coaching staff sometimes like, oh wow, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I've only been doing this for so long.
Yeah, 14 years?
Yeah. But I think people forget sometimes that I do have good hands. I have vision,
Yep.
but it's nice to get, recognized a little bit in that sense and not just me being a goddamn goon all the time.
meathead.
Well, I mean, the 3 cups, that probably helps with that too. So
does
it's
help.
not
You're one of those-
that's not an accident that you got 3 cups. So
You're one of those athletes. I was talking to fucking big bastard.
I don't know what you're talking
Baseball pitcher. St. Louis Cardinals, White Sox just retired.
about. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Who?
He just retired. I'm
Wainwright?
No, not Wayno.
Lance Lynn.
Lance Lynn.
Lance
Why?
Lynn.
Lance
Oh, that's
Lynn.
your twin.
I know. I literally it just
Yeah,
slipped
you
my.
kind
He
of
just
look like
retired.
him. He's a good dude.
Awesome dude. I shot it
If Dave was
6'6",
12 inches
Yeah.
taller.
Great dude.
Yeah.
right. St. Louis roots, obviously, but he's just one of those guys. I was talking to his agent yesterday because he just retired too. I'm like, absolutely perfect career, just perfect career. I'm not gonna be Hall of Fame, but like a perfect career.
Like a name you'll never forget.
Never
Did he-
forget.
Did he win a World Series with the
Oh, yeah.
Cardinals? He did. What
Yeah.
year?
He's
11?
got 2 with them.
With the Cardinals?
No, he doesn't. You have to look.
Okay,
that
he's
up.
got 1. He's got at least 1.
We got the internet here.
Yeah.
We could figure that out. I think he does have 1.
He has 1 for sure with the Cardinals.
Just like a
Yeah,
very good
2011.
player for
2011.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stud. I get to hang out with those guys quite a bit.
He
He's a
can
beauty.
throw him back.
He can throw him back.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, when
big bastard.
when the Cardinals made him lose all that weight, he just went to shit that
He
one year.
did. He more mass, more gas.
Yeah.
More mass, more gas.
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
just like, dude, you got to put it back on.
Yeah.
Put it
brother.
back on, and he
Just show up
shoved.
at his door with like
Yeah.
a case of Miller Lite.
He's built. He's built for comfort, man.
Exactly. You don't need it. What does he need to be
What do you
athletic
want-
for?
What do you want to be in shape for?
Yeah, the pitcher shoving
Yeah.
baseballs down throats. That's
Yeah.
all he needs. But like, yeah, that's my point. Like, just a perfect career.
Yeah, he had a perfect career.
Yeah.
Perfect career.
Yeah. So he's done, eh?
Yeah, he just retired. He was trying to give it one last shot, but he's like, fuck it. And
Yeah, I mean, he's
Hung him up.
37 too.
yeah,
And he finished with the Cardinals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Last year with the
Cards,
Cardinals,
Full
yeah.
circle.
White Sox. They're off to a good start.
So what if St. Louis hometown team calls back like, hey, we need one guy, one more. You got one more year in you?
yeah, I would play.
Yeah.
But I don't
You
know.
got to take back that moment with Panger.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, I think right now it's just like I'm content where I'm at.
For sure.
I have no regrets.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's what I mean by
could you?
perfect career.
Yeah.
Just no regrets.
I want to be able to bend over and pick my kids up. You'd have 2 back surgeries,
Yeah,
knee surgery.
Yeah.
It's just tough. Like when
Yeah.
you go through like those pains, like it sucks.
I stopped playing sports when I was a junior in college, and I get out of bed every day sore. So I feel you.
Are you working out or no?
I run.
Ran
I
the
don't-
marathon.
I'm
Oh,
not to
shit.
brag. Yeah,
What's marathon?
Chicago. I set the record too in 5 hours. Actually, at the 16-mile mark, I could have taken a right and been literally on my couch in 5 minutes, or taken a left and finished it. And I did consider taking that right. It was
How many?
Dude, he signed up for 2 marathons.
I did.
How many miles did you walk?
I ran through 15, and then I started running a mile, walking a mile, or walking a quarter mile. And then after a few miles of doing that, I would run a song, walk a song. And then I got to 2 miles left, and I just said, fuck it, and just
ran.
I just went. Put my head down and just said, fuck it, and went.
Like you just felt limp after it.
Pretty much, yeah.
He showed up at the bar and had some beers, though.
I didn't want to, actually.
Yeah, but we made him.
You must have chafed so hard, no?
I put Vaseline over every ounce of my body to avoid that. No, I shaved my nipples and put Vaseline and duct tape over them. You'd see people on the course that didn't do that, and they'd be bleeding through their shirt because their
on.
nipples are chafing. Yeah, oh yeah. So I didn't want to do that, so I just gunked
You just
Vaseline.
Vaseline your
Oh,
sack and all
everywhere. Whole sack, whole nut sack. All the grundle,
Covered.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Finished a marathon thanks to Vaseline.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
that. You
was
should
my
have got a
PED.
sponsor for that.
I should have.
A Vaseline sponsor
yeah.
would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like a commercial. Of
Can
you
we
just
can we sign you up for
Vaseline your nipples.
Can we sign you up for the one in October?
No. I don't wanna do that
Just
again.
sign up.
I could sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did sign up. What was the year you signed up and just chose not to run?
The next year.
No,
Or the
it was a couple years later.
It was pre-pandemic, and I did it in 2016, so it might have been 2018.
I thought
And
we
then
thought
I
we
was
were
just
working
like,
there.
nah.
Yeah, you woke up that morning. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I've already done it once.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've-
I raised a lot of money for dogs, though.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
credit to Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fucking right.
I didn't run for them, but they got the money.
Can anyone sign up for a marathon?
Yeah. You thinking about it?
That'd be hilarious. We should.
A whole new career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It honestly, you could train for a month being an athlete and you'd finish it. Like finish it. You wouldn't like.
What's the longest you've run just for training?
Well, back then in Philly, you had to do like the Cooper run.
What's the Cooper run?
It's like the VO2.
Oh.
And you had to run 2 miles in under 12 minutes.
So that's like military shit.
That's insane.
Obviously,
you're sprinting.
Only like 3 guys would get it, but you're fucking sprinting.
Yeah.
So that was like, you would have to train for that. So that's the only time I would train.
Yeah.
Now we don't do any, like it's more on
like
bike stuff.
Yeah.
You're not the
doing
bike
that
VO2.
Bike VO2 sucks.
Yeah.
I've never done one of those. That we did a video with a breathing guy. He like teaches you how to breathe properly.
Brian Peters.
He was JVR's guy. He had a bunch of hockey guys from the Wild in Minnesota. Like Hartman uses.
Harvey Martin is his name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And he just goes over like the science of how to breathe properly and why we don't breathe properly. And he's like, try running a mile with just like a sip of water in your mouth and don't swallow it. So it forces you to breathe through your nose when you're doing that. And he's like, you won't be able to finish that mile. And I've tried it, and I get through like a 1/10 of a mile, and I'm like, nope, done.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like you're waterboarding yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But like when we did that breathing exercise, it would probably last, 40 minutes?
Something like that.
It's like a guided kind of meditation thing. When he's like rings the bell and we're done, I felt like I had a 3-hour nap.
Yeah. It was like a entrancing experience. Yeah, if you do highly recommend.
If you do that this summer, it might be on the All-Star team next year.
That Brian Peters, he played it. I think I'm saying his name right.
Brian Peters played in the NFL for a while.
Yeah, he's a breathing coach.
Oh,
now.
is he?
Did he go to Northwestern? Is he from here?
I don't know. You have to look that up. But he came to our gym in Tampa, and he does, because a lot of those NFL guys train at and he does like a breathing treatment in the sauna too, and meditation, and guys love it, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like
I've read his
sleep.
book and everything since then.
Changes
yeah, it is.
sleep.
Brian Peters is his name. Yeah.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah. breathingforperformance.com.
Yeah, he's
no
like,
free ads, but there you go, Brad.
yeah, no shit. But he's like, guys swear by it.
Yeah.
Like, keep their mouth shut now when they sleep.
Yep.
And like,
I just got some. They arrived on it
immediately.
from Amazon.
That would give me anxiety.
I'm into breathing now. I'm going to start breathing.
That would give me anxiety, no?
I think the benefits are you sleep better, because I have like a snoring issue.
So do I.
Yeah.
I sleep with my mouth open.
You're not supposed to.
Do the tape. Do the tape.
It'll cause inflammation and fuck you up, apparently. Sleep. So you're supposed to breathe through your nose when you sleep.
I know. I see all those ads.
Yeah.
This will give you a heart attack if you sleep with
your
mouth
apnea.
open.
Yeah. You'll die.
Yeah. Really?
I think you can.
I mean,
people used to have like I remember my uncle
masks
used to have like the machine, the mask.
That I'd be like, just fucking kill me. Like if I have to sleep with that thing on, like I'll just
like a Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, like Bane.
Yeah, the tape is the way to go.
Like when I sleep, I'm like in a deep sleep. Like, but my wife hits me all the time because I jolt in my sleep all the time. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
I got to start taking
nightmare.
I got to go see Brian.
Are you a nightmare guy? Because I'm a nightmare guy.
I am,
but I'm a super light sleeper. Like I'm half asleep when I sleep.
He'll do sleepwalking.
I sleepwalk. I sleep talk sometimes. Not in a long time. I have night terrors where I'm in a dream and I know I'm dreaming and it's like I'm in Inception. It's bad. I'm like possessed.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
His brain needs to be studied for more than
like
one.
Where do you end up back in your bed when you're sleepwalking?
No. The last time I sleptwalked, it was like 3 a.m. in New York City in 2020, and I wound up in an underground subway. I swear to God.
No shoes on.
No shoes on.
That could have been bad. No?
Could have been bad. It was the middle of the pandemic. It was like January 2020. So at 3 a.m. 2021, no one's on the streets.
You just walked out of your building.
Walked out. We were sleeping in the New York Barstool office for one of our game shows we were doing. I forget which one. And I sleptwalked in the middle of the night. And I came to in the subway. And when you come to after sleepwalking, you lose your mind. You freak out and you're like, where in the fuck am I? You don't know if you're asleep or if you're awake. So when I figured out I sleptwalked, I was in bare feet. It was 10 degrees out. Luckily, our door, you could just pull it open. Like, it would be locked, but, like, not locked well, so you could, like, pull it kind of hard. So I got back in easy. But it would have been bad.
The security footage and stuff.
Yeah.
Like him.
Like, no phone, no nothing.
Nothing. Bare feet.
No shoes, dude.
in the middle of
Holy shit.
and I had to piss so bad. That I just let one rip on the subway, just like making sure it wasn't touching my feet or anything.
At that point, you're walking on the subway.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
sterilize. I like, dude, pee on your feet.
Just pee on your feet.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably would have sterilized them.
Yeah.
So yeah, sleep tape. Long
Yeah,
story short.
try the sleep tape. Yeah.
Yeah, we need sleep tape around here.
All right. All right, Patty. Well, I think that'll wrap it.
That'll
Thanks,
wrap
boys.
it.
Yeah, that
Thanks.
was
I
fun.
appreciate it.
Beat someone up these last few games, huh?
Yeah, I need like 3 more for 100 fights.
You have to get it. You have to. That's a hallmark.
I know.
How many games you guys got left?
like 8, right?
Yeah.
7.
7.
And I don't know if I'm playing all of them, so I got to get it.
Well, now you're chasing a record. What are they gonna sit Ovi going for the goal record? You're going for 100 fights. Put him in the lineup. Hey, Anders, put him in the lineup. Yeah.
Me and Ovi in the same category.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's hard though. You know.
Yeah.
My fucking hand's killing me.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I think I got to do it.
Just do the fights where you just don't really chuck them. You just kind of grapple until you go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the point of that?
Get that 100.
Yeah. But
They don't ask how. They ask how many. So you get 100. You get 100.
That's true.
I always that was always my thing. I'm like, I don't care if you win or lose a fight. Just answer the bell. Just answer the bell. So 100 fights for Pat Maroon. That would be something.
I don't know. That would be kind of cool. So I got.
We'll throw you a parade. We'll have Pat Maroon Appreciation Day. 100 fights.
I think the parade should be a marathon.
I'll do this. I'll do Chicago if you do Chicago.
When is it?
It's October.
Like mid-October.
Well, I'm free now.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
It's an easy marathon because Chicago is insanely flat. Other cities.
How long is this marathon?
26.
They're all 26.
They're all 26?
Yeah.
They're not like Boston's 26.
They're all
26.
26.2.
But like Boston, I think I've only ran one in Chicago. Boston's got like hills and.
Is this all flat?
Yeah, Chicago's flat as can be. So
Chicago's known as like one of the marathons you use to qualify for.
So it's because everybody sets their PRs here.
What's the? We got to put something on it. No.
Win?
Like a bet?
Well, I didn't play in the NHL, so I'll bet like $100.
Yeah, but I can't run. I'm 6'4", 235 pounds.
I'm 5'6", 185.
Yeah, but it's easier for
5'7".
It's easier.
I don't know why I said 6. It's actually 7.
Dave just admitted something for the first time in his life. He's 5'6".
It's easier for you to get around. You know how hard.
Yeah, but I'm also not a professional athlete.
Like I would have to train hard.
So would I.
Maybe I'll run like a small marathon.
A half.
They do the halves.
Yeah. So if you can do a half, you can finish a full. Like I'm not gonna run all 26 miles, obviously. Like I would run through 15 and then chill. Yeah.
All right,
it's actually cool too, because like for people like us, we're not trying to qualify for anything else. So like in the back half, like people give you beers and there's music playing. It's kind of fun until you're like, oh fuck, I got 10 more miles left. But
oh fuck, I wish I was dead. I
Yeah.
wish I was on my couch.
How do you know? Do you have something on your watch? Like
There's
you
markers
could.
and shit.
yeah, so
there's markers?
Yeah, there's markers.
I mean, there's like
Yeah.
1,000 people running.
all right, let's make a deal.
Like how many?
How many people run the marathon?
You said 1,000?
Yeah,
It's like
It's like
10,000.
It's like 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and the whole city comes out for it too. So like everybody lines the streets. It's cool.
all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in.
Big Rig and
There we
White
go.
Sox Dave running the marathon.
Should we shake on it?
I can't believe this just happened.
We
There's
got a
no,
video.
there's no way he's gonna do it.
Me?
You'll do it?
I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I run every day.
I know you do.
We'll
but
get to videotape this too.
Yeah, we'll put a GoPro on.
Yeah.
I finished the last one, and that one I was like very out of shape, very, very out of shape when I started training for it, and I finished in 5:25. I think
So we
it
got
was.
6 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 months. 7 months.
You'll be good. I mean, if you want to like actually bust ass and train, you should start like nowish, like June, at least I would say.
I'm
But
calling my trainer when I get out of here.
okay,
All right.
He
Get
actually
Brian-
runs marathons. He goes overseas.
No shit.
Yeah.
So we'll get Brian Peters on the phone.
We'll get him on the
Get
phone.
the breathing
I'll
breathing
get
coach.
breathing.
yeah,
Get Harvey. And
We'll document this whole thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, this is a great idea.
This is a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing? We got to put something on it.
100. I got 100 of my hard-earned dollars.
What are you thinking for the wager?
I don't know. Can't be like $100 or dinner.
No,
or
that's
beer.
lame.
That's
lame. Yeah, we could workshop this.
We'll come up with something. Maybe they're like the loser has to do some kind of punishment.
Yeah, something like that.
So that works.
Yeah, we'll workshop it.
Like I'll try to fight you on hockey skates that I can't even. I don't even know how to like.
That could be your 100th fight.
Yeah,
After
there
the
you go.
marathon,
Yeah.
you fight White Sox Dave.
All right.
Down at fifth third.
It'd be like a Jackass skit where they play UFC or USC in football.
Yeah.
They're
So
doing slant
I just have
routes.
to do under 5 hours because that's what you're gonna do.
I think I mean I don't go far now. But I would break 5 this time. I think.
Ooh, so I really got to get on this.
I think you'll hit the ground running though as an athlete. Like, no pun intended. You know, I don't think the training will be that difficult.
I'll mentally break down though eventually, but that's the
Maybe.
hardest part.
What I want to hear is like when you're done, it wasn't that hard. Because like marathon people, I feel like pat themselves on the back, but then you 50,000 people do it. So how hard can it be? So
Well, half of them walk the whole time, no?
Yeah, most of them do.
oh really?
Yeah.
That many people walk the
yeah.
whole time?
I
You've never
finished at like the
like-
50th percentile,
Oh, what the fuck?
55th percentile or something like that.
So how are you going to sign us up? How do I sign up?
Well,
We can
I'll
figure
send
that
you
out.
the link.
Yeah. You actually, one requirement though that's not up to us, you'd have to raise $10K for like a charity.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's
I did pause. It was easy. People donate to dogs, obviously, but any charity you want. That's part of the requirement for signing
Yeah,
up.
we love dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
We can do dogs.
Yeah, let's do dogs. We work with Paws
Now, yeah.
now.
Oh, so we can raise 20K.
Easy.
Easy. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Let's go.
All right.
Here we go.
This is breaking news. White Sox Dave versus Big
Pat
Rig
Maroon.
for the marathon.
How'd you get that nickname, by the way? That was going to be
Yeah, Big Rig's an
that's
awesome
an
nickname.
unbelievably good nickname.
How do we wait until the end for that? Because I don't know that answer.
Andrew Cogliano. He's like, you look like an 18-wheeler, man.
Which is a big rig.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he was just like, I'm going to start calling you Big Rig. And then it's just kind of stuck in Anaheim.
That was
And everywhere I
Anaheim,
went,
yeah.
it was Big Rig.
It's awesome.
It kind of took off in Edmonton, though, because I kind of tweeted out the Big Rigs coming to the oil rigs.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's when it kind of blew up a
Blew
little
up.
bit.
Everyone
Yeah,
knows
it was
it.
just more inside the locker room.
Yeah.
And then now the
Here comes
announcers
Big
are
Rig.
like Big
Yeah.
Rig and everything kind
Big
of
Rig's
took off
a
there.
fucking awesome nickname.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. That's why you're one of those names that people will never forget. Yeah, you put a big, great nickname on it.
Yeah.
It is like an all-time good nickname.
Yeah.
It's like it's so unique, you know.
Yeah.
Does your son go by Little Rig?
No, he goes by ATM.
That's funny. My dad had the same nickname for me. Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it there. This is the third time we've tried to end the interview.
Oh, this is great. We're shooting shit, dude. I could do this all day.
Yeah. But we got now we got a contest. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
Man, this is gonna be
It's
awesome.
gonna be fun.
I gotta think of something clever.
Yeah, we will.
We'll come up with it.
Like when I go home, my wife,
dinner $100. Like that's lame.
that's lame.
We'll do
When you
something
go
fun.
home, your wife's gonna be like, you did what?
You did what?
You signed up
But
for
then
what?
she's gonna be like, "Oh, great!
Yeah.
You're not gonna be a fat slob when you're
Yeah. I mean, the weight will melt off like with that kind of training. So if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Post hockey.
Well, I don't want to blow up
Yeah, like
a lot.
like
of-
everyone else.
all the big guys get skinny and all the skinny guys get fat.
Yeah.
Post professional sports is what I've been told.
You know, he used to work for us, Taylor Lewan.
Yeah.
So
he's like real thin.
he's at left tackle, 330
Yeah, he was
pounds.
massive.
Yeah,
He
6'7".
lost like what, 90 pounds?
He's probably 220. I mean, he's super tall and he's
6'6".
Yeah,
But he's hot now.
20. He's like a
fucking hot.
legit model.
Yeah.
Like that just comes right off them though, right?
Yeah, typically. Then we
melts
hired
off, yeah.
another college football guy who just started with us, who played at Indiana. He was a center, so he's a big boy. And he said his goal was to get down to 290 by May. And he hasn't lost a pound because he works here. So because we got snacks and food everywhere.
And booze.
It's like, yeah, everything.
We have a
you come
industrial
here to watch
cooler of
football, and it's like I ate 2 pizzas.
And then you crush 10 beers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That Kyle Rudolph is fucking a rail now.
He's
Yeah.
skinny too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
He
in
works
here,
out
yeah.
at my gym. I hang out because he lives in Tampa. We're all in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's a fucking real dude.
He
He was like 290.
I was concerned for his health when he was up here. I'm like, are you okay?
I didn't know who. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like-
Is that, you think of him as just like
Yeah,
killing people,
Yeah.
manhandling. Notre Dame, like big tight end. Now he's
skinny now.
yeah. He looks like he was a skateboarder.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's just a skinny Earl.
Yeah.
But that's just, I feel like all those football guys, everything comes off them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not hockey guys, because hockey guys booze too much.
Yeah. I feel like that's out of the game now, though, too. Like, guys don't really.
That's like a cultural thing, too.
Yeah, like across, like, no one
Like
no one has fun anymore.
Yeah.
Fun's
They're
out.
staring at their phones in their fucking bed.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's no one that, which is fine, I guess. Like,
yeah, make your own choices.
Make your own choices. No one really boozes anymore, but you make your own choices.
Yeah.
And it's not like going out to get blacked out. Like, you can go have a beer.
Yeah, socialize a
little bit.
Team
2
dinner.
bears.
Yeah.
Like glass of wine or 2, it's not going to hurt you.
You're fine. You're a veteran now. You switched over to the wine. Yeah.
No,
you haven't.
The whiskey and beer.
Yeah.
But thanks again. I appreciate it, boys.
Yeah, this was
that
fun.
was a lot of fun.
I can't believe we got White Sox Dave back in the marathon.
We got you back. Why White? You like the White Sox?
Yeah, and
they're off to a good start.
they won 2 games out of 6. They're 2-4 now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
So who'd they beat? The Angels. They crushed them, right?
Yeah,
opening day.
times.
Yeah.
They played. I think the Angels might be the second worst team in baseball. They're awful, but in the Twins, everyone's saying they're going to be like 500 or a little better. I also think they're awful, and they're going to be like a 75-win team.
All right. Well, let's start betting.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, White Sox fan. That's why I also hate the Cubs and kind of like the Cardinals.
And when he first started, the only other Dave in the company was Portnoy.
Yeah.
So Portnoy was like, well, you can't be Dave. You have to be something else.
So you're White Sox Dave.
You're White Sox Dave.
Okay, that's kind of weird. But
So we covered how you got Big Rig and how he became White Sox Dave.
Yeah.
Where Portnoy is like, you just can't go by your name. Yeah.
Fucking beat them up. Who cares? Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that
thank
was
you.
great.
And now we got to go learn about some torpedo bats.
Yeah, guys are cheating.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. We got the baseball bat guy coming on next, so stick around. All right, thanks to the Big Rig, Pat Maroon. That guy, like, that's hockey to me. He's one of those guys. And now, big-time pivot. We're going to kind of a baseball science nerd. The CEO of Victus Bats, Jared Smith, who's, like, on ground zero of this torpedo bat thing. So they're one of the big designers, suppliers of the torpedo bats. So fascinating conversation. Before we do that, let's have Dave and Megan tell us about American Home Shield.
What do your tourney brackets and your home appliances and systems have in common? They both tend to get busted. Now, as a benefit with select American Home Shield warranty plans, you can conveniently video chat a live repair expert to help assess or fix an issue. Talk about taking home protection to the next level. And thanks to American Home Shield, we are able to video chat in Megan making money to get an expert assist to pick your favorite teams for the 2025 tourney. Megan, over to you.
BYU holds the records for most tourney appearances without making a semifinal with 30 appearances. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Megan. We're here to help prevent a busted bracket, just like American Home Shield is here to help with a busted appliance or system. I've had a myriad of issues at my home. Washer dryer went out, had to replace that. Dishwasher always is going in and out. I need to replace that soon. American Home Shield, they're taking care of me, and they've done nothing but great work for me. So this is where our friends at American Home Shield do come in, and when you have an American Home Shield warranty, they will help fix or replace covered parts of home systems and appliances no matter what their age is, and that's huge because there's always all these loopholes with other companies and other warranties. So plus, as a benefit with select plans, AHS offers a convenient video chat feature that lets you connect with a live repair expert to help assess or even fix a home issue in real time on your own. That saves money, and that in and of itself is worth it. So listeners can get 20% off any plan today. Just visit ahs.com/stretch to sign up. Don't wait until something is busted. Get ahead of that now. If you're a homeowner, you know how it goes. Something will go bad. So just nip it in the bud now and go with AHS. That's ahs.com/stretch. Let's kick it over to Jared Smith. All right, we're back in the second interview portion of today's show. We're joined by Jared Smith of Victus Bats. Good friends with my good friend Alan Donato. Shout out to Donato for setting this up. So the Torpedo bat, Jared, it's taken over the league. It didn't cross my desk until opening day. I want to know where it's being hid, why the Yankees had it and nobody else, and like what is going on with the Torpedo bat right now.
Why didn't you send this across White Sox Dave's desk when he was making the rounds in March?
Yeah, no, that's my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
You got him in some trouble.
A little bit of trouble because I didn't hear of the bats until opening day.
Yeah, well, I don't think Portnoy's a fan of it anyway. So.
No, not at all. Not at all. So is it cheating or isn't it?
No, absolutely not. That's absurd. It's well within the rules. It's literally just a taper at the end of the bat, the same way there's a taper down by the logo. So he's definitely a little off base there.
He's a little off base. Is there any chance that the league does put some, governor on the bat?
I would say close to 0% chance.
Close to 0%.
Really?
Okay,
there's already rules. So there is the standards, but as long as the design stays within 2.61 inches as far as the maximum diameter, then we're totally fine.
Have you seen already like an increase in demand of different baseball players asking for this or contacting you guys or this is the rage now? Is this going to become the new standard?
That's still to be determined. I mean, at this point, I'd say over half of the players that swing our bats have reached out and asked to sample it. So we're in the process now of redesigning their models, taking that extra mass at the end of the bat and shifting it down to a little bit closer towards the label, if you will, to kind of shift that sweet spot a little closer to their hands.
Now, as two unintelligent podcasters, can you speak to us in layman's terms about the actual science behind it?
Yeah, I have one here that I can kind of show you guys through it. So the idea is that a normal shaped bat, a traditional bat, has essentially a taper that goes wider the whole way out towards the end of the bat. And then the sweet spot generally on wood is around this area, a little closer to the end than it would be. A metal bat tends to perform a little better down in this area. So really when you take that extra volume from the end of the bat here and then you add the extra mass down towards the handle a little bit more, you're actually shifting that performance zone or that sweet spot a little bit closer to your hands also. So in that, now when you make contact down here more consistently, if that's the area that you perform better at, or if that's the area you more consistently make contact at, I should say, then this bat would be something that would perform better for you. So if you look at, go back and look at the highlight of AV's home run from last night, they freeze where he made contact on that opposite field home run, and he did get jammed, what would typically be jammed down here, but now that's the performance area in his bat.
So is this sort of a way to combat all the strikeouts in the league? Or is this just something that you guys kind of, you guys obviously are a bat company, you're not worried about pitchers per se, but obviously they're trying to get more offense in the game, like banning shifts and, the pitch clock, blah, blah, blah. So is this was this a way to combat all the strikeouts and the lack of offense or no?
I think it was more a way for them to make consistent hard contact.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think it's a lot easier to make contact closer to your hands. Now, I shouldn't say a lot, but it is easier to make contact closer to your hands than further away. Like, think about if you're trying to hit something off a table 10 feet away from you or a foot away from you. Now, shrink that down to 1 inch closer to your body. I do think it's a shorter swing, perhaps. I think it's something that better contact closer to hands will lead to more consistent contact as well.
So, in theory, would this bat help every player, or is there certain players' swing paths that it benefits more?
100%. That's not for every player, and that's each guy can be fit for their bats, and it's something that we do at our baseball performance lab in Baton Rouge every offseason. We've had over 200 pros come down there and get fit for their bats. I will say the Torpedo's been around since spring training last year. Is really when we were first introduced to it as far as conceptually moving that sweet spot down. It's just something that some guys, when they tried it, it clicked, made sense, and they rolled with it, and some guys would literally look at it and be like, no, that's not for me, even without trying it, just because it visually – listen, baseball players superstitious too, so if it's working, just like Judge said, like he seems to be doing fine with his design, he doesn't need the Torpedo, so it's not for everybody, I would say.
Now, baseball has been taken over by science and math and analytics and suits from Harvard and Yale and all that, and it's kind of lost what made it great, baseball just being baseball. why did it take so long to do the obvious with the bat? Because like everything you just explained was like, yeah, duh, you know?
And every other sport has had these innovations in equipment. Baseball is like the only one that's like,
I mean, metal bats improve like year over year like crazy, but this is just like, how did nobody think of this sooner, you know?
Hey, I would refute your initial statement. I think the game's better now than it's ever been. I love the pitch clock. I love the fact that it's a faster game. And quite honestly, I think it's something we have been innovating within bats. It's just the general public hasn't been paying attention. So you look at Paul Goldschmidt, he's using a puck knob on his bat. That was something that was innovated fairly recently down in our baseball performance lab. And then even before that, Mookie Betts is swinging an axe handle. That's something that was introduced by us with Dustin Pedroia about 12 years ago now. So we have been innovating within this. We've been fitting guys at the professional level. It's just something that there's a really big spotlight on it now with what the Yankees did this past weekend.
So business is good right now.
Business seems like it's really good right now.
It's literally updated. Like the crazy part is we have a showroom here, we have a batting cage, and we had 3 guys in their 70s come by yesterday that were literally like, I got a hit with this thing. Like I've been playing ball for the last 55 years. Like I got to try this bat out. So for us, it's just cool that baseball is being talked about like this. That's what's most exciting to me is that right now it's out there in the zeitgeist with everybody talking about baseball. I think that's a positive thing for the game. I love to see it.
So I was just about to ask something about bets, but I completely forgot. But what is the evolution next going to be? Is there something that like you're fidgeting with this model that you think you can improve on next, or is this like a beta version, or is just this the bat now?
I mean, we're constantly getting more data for the hitters, and then I think we'll keep continuing to design different profiles that perform better for them specifically. And then the next step is aluminum bats as well. We'll have we were testing already last year an aluminum bat version, and then Marucci will have one later this year that is a Torpedo version of their current aluminum bat line.
So I'm glad you say that. So there was a picture floating around the interwebs that completely it evaporated from my memory, but it was a picture of a Torpedo bat, literally labeled Torpedo, that I think Easton made it from like the mid 90s, and it was the exact same shape, exact same function, and it was like a training bat. And I'm like, oh my god, I remember that now. And it was from like legit 30 years ago, like mid 90s, like a kind of primitive bat. And like it. What was there any? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen the picture of it. I'm not familiar with the product though.
I remembered it when I was a kid. When I saw the picture, I'm like, oh, did they? But those two things are completely exclusive of each other. Like one had nothing to do with the other.
No, I think, to your point, I think there's been training tools out there that have had something similar to this, but to take the performance into a wood bat and take into account kind of shifting that mass, I think it's going to be super effective in wood bats to start, and then we'll see kind of what the benefits are in metal and composite.
So do you think that this is something that is, like I said before, is there something pitchers can do? Like, are guys just gonna start pitching outside more? Like, what? Like, how do they? That's their problem.
That's their problem.
That's a great call out. Like, I mean, perhaps it like that's the thing is that's why I love it so much is because it's a chess game. There's going to be moving pieces. One guy's going to move one way. I think more likely scenario is as we move along is players will have different bats that when they're facing different types of pitchers. And I think that they'll have, hey, this guy's going to throw a bean on my hands. I'm going to use the Torpedo. Or I got a guy who's throwing cutters low and away, like he's a slider guy. I'm going to need something with a little more mass at the end. So for us, I think it's almost like we're gonna work with players and continue to innovate to get them right. And now that their analytics teams are paying a lot more attention to the bats, I think it's great for us because then it gives us more data to work with, and it allows us to get more and more specific for each player.
I like the idea of guys showing up to the ballpark with like a golf bag with 9 different types of bats, depending on who they're pitching. So is that a thing too, where it's like, hey, like you're gonna move? You can look at a Nico Horner, who I think has been using it, and a Dansby Swanson. It's like, hey, like your sweet spot is going to be up a half an inch versus somebody else. So can you get that level of detail, or is it just like this is the Torpedo bat?
No, absolutely. It's that level of detail. So like even within the Yankees, they have different Torpedoes that have different areas for that performance area, if you will. Okay. So I think it's really is specialized to each player. I think people are going to be trying it, and then they're going to be tweaking it. It's generally probably going to be the next step. That some may be lined up perfectly for them, and we hope that there's a fair share of them, but then we know we're going to be getting feedback and asked for specific requests for specific players. And I think it's a fun place to be when you're working with a player, and then you get right to where he wants to be, and then you see somebody like Volpe going out performing like he does. I mean, he worked his butt off this offseason. We know that.
Totally.
So it's something, too, that between it could be the bat, it could just be him, but it's nice to be a part of that conversation, and honestly just to feel confident that we helped him improve this offseason.
Is this something that you can like a technology that you can patent?
No, so this is something that MLB even sent out an email about it. I don't know if I can speak to it, but essentially, no, this is not something that can be reserved for just one particular team or anything like that.
But one particular company is more like what I was asking.
No, I don't believe so. I mean, it's been out there, and that question's been raised before. Just like some of our the FT23, can you could trademark a name, but I don't think you can trademark a shape unless it's like something that's completely unique and hasn't been done before. Okay. And this has been done before. I mean, I've seen examples of this from 40 years ago where guys would be messing around with things. It's just now that there's data to kind of back it up. I think it's here to stay now.
Interesting.
Well, we'll kind of wrap up there. I guess we got everything out, unless there's anything you guys want to get out. I've followed the Victus and what you guys have done for a long time. You guys started in your garage.
Yeah.
A long time ago now, and now you got just a massive facility down in
well, that's interesting then. So what year did you guys start, and then what made you become like this? You're on the forefront of innovation.
Yeah.
Something that has
it's a cool story, right?
Yeah, so we started in 2012. Was our first year. It was myself and two buddies, and Alan was one of those guys. So for us, it's one of those things that we, from day one, our moniker has always changed the game. So we would always be doing these custom design bats. Things like the pencil bat was always like in our DNA early on. So I'd say innovating within wood bats, whether it's been design of like exterior or the actual interior design of the bat, for us, we've always been looking at that and trying to innovate within bats. And really, I mean, year one was tough. I don't know if Alan's ever told you the full story, but it was rough, man. We were living at the shop, just grinding away, showering at the gym.
I remember it. That's right. That was the year I became friends with Donato. It was 2012, and I would see him in Chicago, and it was a legit grind for him. And I'm super proud of the work that and the success he's had with Victus and you guys, and his, afterwards and all that. So.
Yeah, he's killing it as an agent now.
Yeah, he's crushing it. He's crushing it.
And he's like a scratch golfer, so he's got a lot going for him.
He's don't give him too much credit or compliments because it's gonna make me nauseous. But I do love your guys' story. It's great, and you guys are literally changing the game now. It's awesome. And I just have one last question. Can you guys please change the White Sox game? Because
change their game.
Change their game. Yes.
We'll work on it. Have they contacted you guys at all, or anybody specifically from them? Not me personally, but maybe we have Nate, who's in charge of our pro sales also, so he may have gotten them to reach out. But we'll certainly look into it. We'll try to help you out.
That's all I ask. But
is anybody going to be in like the home run derby using the Torpedo bat?
Great question. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
I mean, if there are, we'll let you know.
All right. Sounds good.
Great advertising for you guys, but I appreciate you hopping on. Keep killing it, man. Keep changing the game. Appreciate everything you're doing for the game, and thanks for joining the show. And good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you having me. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Thanks, man.